Non-verbal communication. The communication process can also be carried out without the use of any verbal means. In many cases, such as communication with deaf and dumb, mentally retarded, the person not knowing the language of the sender, or sending a secret message in commonly coded and symbolic expressions, it may become a necessary as well as compulsion to make use of non-verbal communication. Facial expression. Facial expressions may very well communicate the feeling, thoughts, and intentions of the communicator. In general, face and facial expressions may be said to be a true index of one's emotional and thinking behavior. When one is perturbed, his face gives the identity of the level of anxiety and stress. Similarly, when one is happy or joyful mood, his or her facial expression reflects it. Seeing the facial expressions, we can easily conclude if one is angry, fearful, jealous, astonished, or showing love, sympathy, or hatred. In this way, facial expressions may be termed as one of the important modes of nonverbal communication. Language of the eye. Language of the eye may be also be considered as common and universal to almost all cultures and societies of the world. It is very easy and simple to decode the feeling, thoughts, and intentions conveyed by the communicator. When one turns his eyes, we conclude that he has not interested in our friendship or conversation or want to avoid us. Similarly, one can communicate well his emotions of fear, jealousy, anger, enjoy, hatred, greediness, temptation, lust, love, affection, apathy, or sympathy, etc. through the eye language. In the classroom communication, eye-to-eye contact forms the very basic of the effective communication between the teacher and the pupils are mostly maintained through the related eye language. The eye movements of the teacher may be encourage or discourage a student in giving response or participating actively in any teaching activity. Similarly, by the reading through eye movement, the teacher can know whether the student is showing interest or disinterest in any classroom activity. Body language. A classical dancer while performing on the stage may provide a substantial proof of the effectiveness of such communication through various gestures, postures, and movement of his body parts. By seeing the body language, we can well conclude that now he is offering prayer, getting annoyed, nervous, tensed, feeling shyness, fearful, angry, jealousy, envious, anxious, in love or affection. Every culture or society has its own body language, which can be learned the same way as the spoken language. One should be quite cautious while making use or interpret of body language in communication. Let us cite a few instances for this purpose. As for example, in Tibet, the tribal people exchange greeting by protruding their tongue. In India, it will be a communicated insulting and teasing to the receivers. In India, we use our stretched open palm for conveying the stop signal. However, doing such in Greece will be an outright insult to the receiver. In the Western culture, the people generally welcome or greet through kisses, whereas kissing in public is not liked in India. We usually welcome or greet through joining hands, touching feet, or shaking hands, etc. In some cultures like Brazil, Germany, and Russia, the OK symbol can be taken very offensively because it is used to depict private bodily orifice, whereas in America it simply means OK. Handshake. This is not only means two hands meeting up, but also it says how confident are you. It says sense of confidence. It says trustworthiness, security, that is you are in the safe hand, guarantee, and it shows positivity. The body language in its broad form may include various types of gestures or physical movement of the body parts. In such a broad form, it is quite commonly used by all speakers, stage or media actors, political, religious leaders, advertising models and lawyers while giving their performance at their workplaces. Our body speaks about our feeling of anxiety, fear, anger, happiness, sadness, love, affection, empathy, and sympathy through its various action and movements. The body language can be very effectively used by teacher and pupils in the classroom for the healthy classroom interaction in almost all types of teaching learning situations. Sound symbols. Many sound symbols and vocal cues also prove an effective medium for desired communication. As for example, when we are saying, narrating or explaining something to somebody and he responding simply by uttering the sound it may work well for maintaining the chain of communication. When one is making a pleasant sound through whistling or humming, we may know that he is in pleasant and happy mood. And when one utters with anger, he said to be in angry or fighting mood. The interpretation of sound symbols can only be made in context to tone, volume, and situation prevailing at the time of utterance of their sounds. Symbolic and code language. Many times, some special code language can also be used as an effective mode for the desired communication. The specific code language prepared through the help of various gestures, postures, and body movements can be used for communication with the deaf and dumb. We can very easily well judge the effectiveness of such communication if we have ever seen the telecasting of the air news bulletin specially meant for the deaf and dumb population. One can also mix vocal cues and sound symbol with the body language for having the code language. The interpretation of the sound symbols can only be made in context to the tone, volume, and situation prevailing at the time of the utterance of their sounds. In our day-to-day life also, we must have heard some children and youngsters often talking to each other in their own code languages. We may feel helpless in making any sense of their communication, but they have their language for proper communication. Any commonly shared code language may prove an effective mode for the desired communication between the shared group members. Now, what is non-verbal communication? Illustrate with examples. What is classroom communication? Discuss it in relation to the non-verbal communication. Discuss the difference between verbal and non-verbal communication. This is for your self-study.